teníamos un seminar en el Centro de Historia en Nueva York. ¿Sí? Y queríamos hablar sobre cómo es el judeo, la comunidad de judía en Hungría. Y en primera vez que dicen que tenemos que hablar sobre la gente, que la gente es 120,000 en Hungría. ¿Y cómo puedes hablar sobre una comunidad que es tan grande? Y por eso decidieron que 5 personas pueden hablar sobre su vida, que es muy diferente, que una persona trabaja en la comunidad, otra persona es una artista, tienen muchas diferencias en la familia, pero existen así en la misma comunidad. Y esta fue una primera idea, que cómo puedo hablar sobre la comunidad en Hungría.
Has estado en México 2 veces y has tenido algunas interacciones con la comunidad judía de México. Quería ver si tenías alguna así superficial insight.
So I think there is a lot of things which is same, because you also kind of trying to exist in 2 different levels, 2 different communities in your own life every day. Like in Hungary, we are Hungarians and we are Jewish too, but we are going to the community. We sometimes are going to the synagogue. We have a lot of culture centers, at least like 10. We have the Israeli Culture Center. We doing a lot of exhibitions. We have different galleries that belongs to the Jewish community, or Jewish are organizing it. I also working with one of them. So we have parallel lives, and I think what I experience, you also do the same. Like you have your own work, you do your stuff in the weekdays, and you have your community. Obviously, in your daily life, you also connected with the people who is your own community, and you're trying to work with them because you have a common language, a common knowledge, and you're related to them very much. But the society, it's way bigger, and you have to be aware of it, and sometimes you really have to be aware not to be Jewish, and it's not easy, because I don't know, I didn't feel here the everyday anti-Semitism because I'm not here that long, but in Hungary it can happen very easily, very fluently. People don't even realize that it happened. They just say a joke about your nose, about that you have to do the business because you are good at it, and they think it's fine, it's okay, because you know that you are good in business, which is very sad, and you try to change it every time. You tell, they are friends also, so you tell them that, be nice. It's not nice to say to your friend that you do the business part because, I don't know how to say, like, heritage-wise, you are good in business. I studied humanities and art. Why I should be good in business? It's so stupid. So it's small things, but it can be also hard and very sad sometimes.
Can I ask you?
Yes.
After the war, there were 600,000 Jews in Hungary. How come there are 120 today? Where did they come from? Are they the grandchildren of these people, or they came from other parts?
Okay, so Budapest was one of the last places where the Nazis arrived. So only the countryside Jews, I would say 90% that died, but most of them in Budapest, and it was the biggest population, they survived. and from their parent, I mean, this is already the third generation, so they are,
Those people.
yes. And a lot of people came back to Budapest. There are some, as you heard from the stories, and that's how we picked these people, because we had a long list, and we wanted to have interviews with very different people, very different background, and like how their ideas are so different, that some of their parents or grandparents went to Israel, some America, they came back. So what's the background? We wanted to say as much as diverse.
Excuse me.
Is it
Orban was re-elected 2 months ago or something like
Yes.
that. And my wife and I were in Czech Republic, a little bit in Slovakia, and Austria, and of course Poland 2 years ago. And the trend is quite worrisome. Aren't you worried about what's happening with Orban and all these Eastern Europeans, which are more afraid of the Russians than going back to be fascist, to take the world? What are you doing about it?
I think it's a very tricky topic, because when you're living in a place where you belong to, and you know you have your friends you grew up with there, you grew up there, you don't really feel it. I mean, I was very disappointed about the government decision, and most of our friends voted against him. So actually, also my family and also me, we don't understand how it can happen. We say that it's a cheat, but doesn't matter because it happened. But somehow we still feel positive. I know it sounds weird and very optimistic, but there's such a big and vivid culture in Budapest that it's really hard. Like each time when I'm going somewhere and I have a lecture, a screening, and I'm talking with people and they ask like, how is Hungary? Because you have a lot of information through the news that it's very hard and it's very became very anti-Semitic and racist and Nazi. You don't feel it in your everyday life. Maybe it's the same like how it happened before. I don't know, but Budapest and also Hungary, I really feel safe and respected.
Is the Hungarian community well organized as we are?
It is a big community. We have it's called Mazsihisz, which is the main Jewish community, and they include all the synagogues. But Chabad is not included, so Chabad is a different story. But we have a lot of functioning synagogues. I'm not saying that there's a lot of people going to these small synagogues, but they still exist, which means that my neighborhood, which is the second Jewish neighborhood, which established in 1930, it has at least 7, which is neighborhood sizes by contesta, or even smaller.
What's
So.
the name? What's the name of your neighborhood?
Újlipótváros, which was also in the film. And the biggest one, which is the center, which is already more than 200 years old, it has also the synagogues which are functioning, and also there are tourist attractions. So for big events, there's a lot of people going there. There is the GCC house, there is the Israeli Culture Center, there is the Moshe House, there is 2 young Jewish organizations which functions in a bit outskirt, like in a more poor neighborhood, because they want to integrate also people. They are offering social activities. So I think there's a lot of things going on. A lot of people like connected, educationally and also culturally. Religious-wise, I cannot compare it because I wasn't here in Shabbat. And I'm also not, to be honest, not really practicing in Hungary, because I used to go for more than 10 years for Dar Hadash, which is a religious movement of the Marom, and I was also the leader of it for 2 years. And you know, like with the time, sometimes it's changing, and you have different focus in your life. and that's what I experience now.
The synagogue that is in Doha, is it functioning? And how many people go there to the Doha?
Okay, so no, Dohan is the biggest one, and there is a Rumbach, which is one street, but it's 2 streets behind, and now it's a renovation of the Rumbach, and it will be a biggest culture center for the Jewish community in a year or 2. So the Dohan is still functioning, not every Friday, because it's mainly a tourist attraction, and it's also so the Jewish museum belongs to that building, so it's really hard to organize, and it doesn't work every Friday. But for big events, for big holidays, there are more people, and I went to there a lot of times, and it were like 200-300 people that went there. So.